Welcome to Yildiz Readings 5D. Okay, we are here to dive deep into the weekly astrology. We cover it week by week for each zodiac sign. Please join us and subscribe. We also have an additional section now, which is the members zone for twin flames, pre-release video content and more. Also, have a look at the merch. Let's get into the astrology for the week and see what comes up for your zodiac sign. Now, January is full of twists and turns. If you do need a booking, the link is below. I also put specials up, and before I forget, as above, we do have the 2021 forecast for all your zodiac signs. That is a detailed report as to how the transits will affect you, what dates they're occurring, and what houses they will occur in. So keep those for reference. I'll try and pin them in the videos so that when you need them, they are easily accessible. Now, moving into the month, we do have the new moon occurring on the 13th in Capricorn by the 23rd, and we do have quite heavy placements this week relating to that Capricorn placement. Please have a look at the video for your 2021 transits. They do cover the astrology with retrogrades, directs, house placements and more. For the more weekly orientated energy to keep up to date, please subscribe so you get these transits and you know where the placements are for you. Now, moving into this month, we do have on the 13th the new moon in Capricorn, and it will be at the critical degree point. So any aspects linking to Capricorn are deeply important that you really focus on to get the best out of this week so that you can have that brand new beginning by the end of it. We also have Mercury in Aquarius, and that occurred on the 8th, and it will continue. So our thoughts, our connections, our speech, our movement will be in the bigger picture of things. We have also Venus in Capricorn, very similar to the moon energy, taking that direct responsibility and accountability with our marriages, contracts, partnerships. Now, Mars also had moved last week out of Aries, so we do have some reprieve, and it is in the house of Taurus, and it will be till March the 3rd. We do have quite heavy hitting energies linking to Taurus at the moment. Uranus and Taurus will go direct by the 14th. We also have Lilith and Taurus facing our shadow, deeply important, and Mars and Taurus. Hard to think then. Okay, so the squaring aspects that will be occurring this week is between Mercury squaring Uranus on the 12th and Mercury squaring Black Moon Lilith on the 14th, the day of Uranus and Taurus going direct. Mercury also goes in shadow by the 14th, so get that paperwork in order to be prepared. Welcome back, Scorpio. Let's have a look at the placements for your zodiac sign from the 9th through to the 15th of January. We move into this week with the moon transiting Sagittarius, and for you this does connect in with your second house placement. You can have emotions relating to your net worth. This can be also at a financial level, looking at different ways you can take stock as to where you are and where you wish to be. Esteem energy can come up at an emotional level, so pay attention to that, and it will be from the 9th to the 10th, so pre-warned, forearmed. Very separately, it is the South Node, and this place is changing. Now, it will be transformed through the nodal effect of the South and North Node. To balance it, you can look at that 8th house placement. That's due to the fact that we have Gemini in the 8th. So when it does come to the give and take in situations, looking at it in a reciprocal sense of what can you get out of these circumstances and what directly to invest in and with. Some in the way you're generating your income may change. However, at a very separate level, there is very heavy Capricorn placements at the moment. We do have on the 9th, the sun in Capricorn at 19 degrees. And for you, a lot of energy can be placed into communication, your daily routine, taking responsibility, and it can be a very busy time. This can also be relating to networking for your career and other areas of your life. You also may find that there's more paperwork involved, more details, more information needed, and potentially even with Sagittarius in the second, for those of you that are studying, you may find that you're moving towards the employment and balancing both areas. So it can be upskilling at the same time, but definitely using what you already have at hand. With the nodes in Gemini, you can find that you can learn a lot from your mentors and other people, and from the give and take in these scenarios. During the eclipses in Sagittarius, you can see changes relating to your net worth, your where you're getting your money from, and also to do with any education and upskilling. You may see rewards relating to this through each eclipse cycle in Sagittarius. So the sun in Capricorn can make you take the bull by the horns, and you may need to be super responsible with your communication. Also with your day-to-day activities and the way you're showing up and the way you're expressing yourself. Now you do have Taurus in your 7th house placement, and we do have heavy themes this week relating to Uranus and Taurus going direct by the 14th, which this transit will cover. We do have Black Moon Lilith in Taurus. We also have Mars that did enter Taurus on the 7th. So we're adjusting to that frequency. You may have situations relating to that Taurus placement and really reassessing your marriages, contracts, partnerships, and your interconnections. So a lot of energy will be poured into these dynamics. Potentially health-related dynamics may have come up last year for you, and maybe tension and stress and healthy boundaries and learning that self-mastery. Now you can actually implement it and pay attention. We will have Aries and Chiron there. So subjects relating to these areas can ease up as we move into 2021. Now initially the adjustment of the 7th house placement and deciding whether in fact the contract is or isn't for you, you can be working extremely hard. Now yes, tension points can come up, but as Uranus and Taurus goes direct, you can see sudden changes in this domain. And this can be with your status, it can be with your connections in employment, as well as the things that you like, Venus elements. So if you are wanting to purchase something, yes, with Mars moving into Taurus, it will give you the energy to focus on that. We do tend to accidentally look outside of ourselves with Mars in our birth charts and in astrology. So it's really a place where we need to look at, okay, how can we fill those voids of those things, not just connecting in what is our part in those circumstances. So that's a huge lesson with Mars there. But you can be developing and learning from people around you, and you can be looking at what you really value. And again, you can be changing the way you're showing up in the world, beautifying yourself, changing things around, but it's as within as without. If you did fall off the bandwagon last year, you may find that health-related dynamics will be a point of focus, but they can be alleviated now with learning a lot of lessons relating to that health placement. So yes, with quality systems, really having that self-mastery, looking at the psychology surrounding the things maybe you were doing in a sense of pastimes and maybe overworking or overcompensating and giving, you can get to a point where you can really balance those energies out, pay attention to your health, pay attention to your work, and get those things in order. So on the 9th, we do have the nodes in Gemini quincunxing the sun in Capricorn. Now for you, this can be relating to your connections of give and take, legacies, inheritances, paperwork, looking at the circumstances inside your contracts with Taurus, transforming that domain, and your direct communication, the responsibility inside of those things, being really clear on what your needs are inside of things, and being really clear when it does come to the bigger picture, what those requirements are. Really, this week is a good week to get those things down packed when it does come to the Aries placement, getting your health in order, getting balanced, getting to a point you're able to show up and do the things that you're needing to do. And I do feel this will benefit you. Now, yes, resting you can find that you may have been working extremely hard on circumstances and self and creating healthy boundaries with individuals last year. This now can ease up and start moving forward. Now, it's not to say that this week isn't going to be testing, because we do have Mercury in Aquarius squaring Mars and Taurus. So with your marriages, contracts, partnerships, and your thoughts and your communications, things relating to these areas as well as home related dynamics can come up into play. Now, the beauty is the home domain is set to in 2021 really transform. This can for some of you be relating to inheritances. It can be relating to a home and wanting your own home. Very separately, it can be upgrading, and it can also be a very busy time relating to home and wanting to have more social connections and feeling more vibrationally in alignment with the people you live with. Now on the 10th, we have the moon yet again transiting Sagittarius, and emotions can be moving towards, again, self-esteem, home-related subjects, but moreover, the finances relating to it and what you can bring to the table. And some of those circumstances may be changing, and again, there can be information from afar or dealing with foreign countries. This can be if you are working in employment that relates to multiculturalism. Very separately, it can be your income and your net worth and self-esteem. The Capricorn element of things will be your emotions can and accidentally may govern the way you're showing up. So self-mastery is really essential at this point. And I do feel, to a degree, it could force us to maybe overcompensate and really mince our words. But at the same time, if you've got that self-mastery there and you can keep grounded and you're looking after your health, you're getting adequate sleep, yet again, you'll find you'll be able to deal with that a lot better. Now, Venus in Capricorn is going to be making a trine to Mars and Taurus. So what does this mean? With your communication relating to your marriages, contracts, partnerships, you will be showing up very responsibly, and you will become very cautious when it does come to the bigger picture of how you view and the energy you're willing to put into these areas. Now, Taurus for you does relate to your marriages, contracts, partnerships, and it is a point where it is going to be deeply turning for you. By this stage, we have had Mars move into Taurus, and we do have the shadow energy of Black Moon Lilith in Taurus. So facing that and moving forward will aid you at this time. But yet again, it's deeply important to create those healthy boundaries, be able to see any obstacles that we've had in our way, to be able to rectify them, clarify them, and be able to balance them really so they don't affect us in 2021. Now the nodes yet again will be trining the Sun in Capricorn. So it will be relating to paperwork and documentation and your third house placement. This can be communication coming in and needing to be dealt with, and this is happening both on the 9th and the 10th. We also have Black Moon Lilith in Taurus, making a quincunx to the moon in Sagittarius. So this can be relating to finances and fair-based frequencies as well as self-esteem, but try and really keep grounded. The best is yet to come, and these circumstances may show you very differently how you can handle these tasks with poise. Now, because you do have Aquarius in the 4th house, there can be major transformations occurring from home. Some of you may be actually working from home, others it may be doing renovations and trying to really stabilise that physical foundation to make it more conducive for the way you're living in the environment. And it is about your daily routine and overloading yourself. Aquarius can be the humanitarian. It also can also be like your house is turned into a shelter, and this is just a metaphor, but it can be a very social orientated energy with that. There's also a shifting of responsibilities inside of the home domain, but for some of you this can either be renovations, transformations, physical movement. There will be a lot of changes relating to that 4th house placement this year, so it won't be boring, so to speak. As Aquarius is the humanitarian, it can be really reaching out and helping those around us, but working conducively as a team. Now, on the 11th, we have the moon transiting Capricorn, and this can relate to your emotions with your communication. You also can be really working very arduously on self-mastery. This can be a very busy day, and emotions can get a little bit inflamed. So pay attention to your health, pay attention to while driving on the road, because concentration and responsibilities can be an overload on the 11th. Mercury in Taurus will be making a conjunction to Jupiter in Aquarius, and it can be busyness relating to both your marriages, contracts, partnerships, as well as the connection of home related dynamics. So, again, it will link to getting organized at home, having too many things going on, having too much responsibility, what that means. And how to really balance all of those things on this day. But I do feel there can also be beneficial things happening with your thoughts and your feelings relating to the bigger picture of how you see things and where you want them to go. Now, the beautiful aspect is that Jupiter in Aquarius will be sextiling Aries and Chiron. And again, when it does come to expansion, home, values, you will find that any growth and changes can be aspected beautifully, and it can take some stress off you. You also may be more able to handle stresses at home and create healthy boundaries when it does come to these areas. Now, on the 12th, we do have yet again the moon transiting Capricorn. And even on the 11th and the 12th, the highest suggestion is with both Aries and Chiron, and from the energy of Black Moon Lilith, in Taurus, is to face our fears and to not tell ourselves false fulfilling prophecies. It can be a tense couple of weeks from January moving to the second week, where a lot of us have been trying to deal with the devil in the detail, balancing things out, dealing with nodal energies of the past in a karmic sense in the first 2 weeks of January. It can really be mirroring that energy of 2020 prior to May, and that's due to the fact that we had the nodes in Cancer and Capricorn, and the shadow energy of Capricorn is Cancer. So these key themes can be coming up to play. Plus, this year we're having Uranus and Taurus squaring Saturn 4 times, so we're being prepped for that dynamic. As Uranus and Taurus goes direct by the 14th. So you can feel these changes, and you may wish to integrate them relating to your marriages, contracts, partnerships. Joy of being a psychic medium and astrologer. The 6th house placement for you, due to the fact it does have Aries in it, yet again, pay attention to your health. Don't get yourself worn out. Your health, your routine counts. A bit like an aeroplane going down. You're told to put your gas mask on first. Thou must help thyself so I can help others. So really paying attention to that to make sure that you can get the best out of your body like a battery, and you can make the best out of your life. Now, on the 13th, we have the new moon in Capricorn, and it is at 23 degrees. It's the critical degree point. Now, Capricorn in the tarot is the devil card, and it is really the devil in the detail. And if you have been working very arduously on things, really refining your communication, making sure that you say all the right things, and ticking all the boxes when it does come to your movement in the day. This can also be transformations if you did most recently purchase vehicles and things to that degree. Make sure all the documents are in order. Make sure your transport is your transportation, you're cognitively aware during the day, because with the nodes in Gemini, yes, our concentration can wreak havoc on us. The energy with the new moon in Capricorn does link to your 3rd house. So if you were tying up loose ends, if you are wishing to get new items relating to technology, yes, you can at the moment, and there can be changes now and growth and movement relating to that 3rd house placement. It can be attaining new vehicles, it can be receiving new technology, wanting to do such. Now, yes, moving forward this can occur. However, we are moving towards the shadow energy, so time is running out, so to speak, for that in a safer sense. Once we do hit the end of this week, moving into the following week, Let me double check the dates. You can start feeling that shadow energy, so it can become busier. Just keep your receipts and your warranties. That's all I can say. Separately, you can have a new beginning when it does come to your new findings and beliefs, as well as the way you're showing up. And maybe some of those tasks that you dealt with to complete, you have that routine down pat now, and you can be reprieved from that. Now, the transformations and changes are really coming through by the 14th, and that's due to the fact we have the moon transiting Aquarius. We also have Uranus and Taurus going direct. So sudden changes relating to marriages, contracts, partnerships, some of these things can ease up. This can be returning to work. And others of you, it also can be interconnecting with people at a higher vibration level with both Saturn and Jupiter in Aquarius. Venus and Capricorn will be making a trine to Uranus and Taurus. So again, your communication, you may have communication in relation to a job. You may have communication in relation to a relationship. And there may be a new beginning in this domain. Now, this can be happening at a very psychological, spiritual level first, and then at a 3D level. But I do feel with Uranus and Taurus, it can be a sudden change. Now, with the Sun in Capricorn making a conjunction to Pluto in Capricorn, again, making sure that you complete these tasks, really assessing the stability of situations. It can be updating our policies and insurances and things to that degree. But effectively, if there's issues, connecting them with certain individuals, we're not making a mountain out of a molehill. We're not sweeping things under the carpet. We're addressing them with that responsible energy of Capricorn and not allowing the devil in the detail to affect our vibration and our health. The 15th, we have the moon transiting Aquarius. Now, we also have Mars and Taurus squaring Saturn in Aquarius. So there can be themes relating to, let me have a look, marriages, contracts, partnerships, as well as home-related dynamics. And anything you're wanting to achieve, it can be a lot of hard work with the squaring aspects, but it's not saying no. We may sense that the doors are closed. It doesn't mean so. It's just the forward movement of those energies and the frustration relating to it. But there can be big plans made at this time. You need to look at the squaring aspects as Rome was not built in a day. Don't be so hard on yourself. But these projects are the big picture, and the work that you put in, you will reap the rewards by the end of this month and be able to have the time with Mercury retrograde in Aquarius to reflect upon what your thoughts, your actions, and your movements are when it does come to both Saturn and Jupiter in 2021. Now, the big things I do need to say is we do have the join button on YouTube. Now, as for subscribing to my channel, it's absolutely free of charge, and the content will continue to come to you. You, Scorpio, will have weekly forecasts of an astrology nature, as well as I will be doing the Twin Flame Lives. Check the community tab. I will give you the dates and times as to when I'm coming live. And those of you that are members, I will keep you up to date in your members community tab that is very private to YouTube as to any updates I feel I need to give you all. Very separately, I've launched the merch area, and that is feel free to actually give me some ideas, maybe things that you want. And inside the merch shop, you are able to edit some of those items and make them personalized. So that's the beauty of how I've created that merch shop. So if you wanted to put your name on it or any subject matter, you can really change it about and make it very personal. So I do base it on ascension and astrology and some memes and quotes that I have on YouTube, so it can be very personal to us as a tribe here on YouTube. Thank you for your comments. I really do read all your feedback. If you do have any questions relating to this week, or you want to tell me how this directly relates to you, I'd love to hear from you. I will see you next week and live during the month where I do have super chats. Love and light, guys. Have a great week.